We're live.
Oh, welcome to another exciting edition of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And
Every week it's the same.
That's part of our
Yeah.
ritual, our botch fest.
Our bloopers, yeah.
Salut! Another Hump Day happy hour. Today we we doubled it up today. We had Goslings, which you were not a fan of.
I got here a little early, so we were able to, get 2 shots in before showtime.
And we went with the Southern Tier Pumpkin, which is an all-time favorite. That's a very good one over there.
Very good.
And I want to give a shout out to a good friend of the channel, Primetime Treasure Hunter. His live show is after ours, so definitely do check it out. Today he's got another thrift battle with Storage Auction Pirate versus T from Auctions for You.
Are we ever going to be invited again? I want a rematch. Seriously.
I would like a rematch.
We got the shaft.
We got jobbed. I'll be honest with you. We did get jobbed.
Anywho, we got the Michaels in the house first off the box. Paul, Lori, and Don. Yes, Don's early again. Hey-o! Angela
showing up. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Last week's show, again, fun as always. Thanks to everybody. Shares their stories with us, shares their buys with us, all that through Instagram, through the Million Dollar Peddlers Gmail account, all the various different places. We definitely do appreciate that. Got some interesting news, and I want to thank everybody out there that's used our affiliate links. To anybody new, all you do is you go in the About area of any of our videos.
Wait, show all. I thought it was show all.
Okay. You can find it.
Right,
and you just click on any of the things that are for Amazon or eBay. You go over to the site. Anything you purchase, it puts a cookie on your computer, and anything you purchase on that visit does not have to be what we tell you to do. We could potentially get a percentage back. We definitely appreciate it. And we have gotten a little bit of money back, and you don't know this, but I've reinvested it in
ties.
Yes, in ties.
Yeah,
Got a nice little
it.
Snoopy tie doing his little bit of construction work here tonight. Wonderful. Now, actually, I bought a wireless microphone thingy.
Oh, thingy.
I think that's the official term for it. Actually bought a Rode wireless. You're so Rode. Bought a Rode wireless microphone. So that way, from now on, talk with Random Neighborhood Kid about it. He checked the specs out. And when we do haul videos and that kind of things going up in the future, it'll definitely, the sound on it will be a lot better. So definitely investing in the channel.
If I'm pronouncing it right, Oxus says audio sounds amazing. So
there you go.
Or maybe just my voice sounds amazing, which I always hate my voice.
You know who Oxus is? That's Random Neighborhood Kid alias.
Oh, sneaky. Now, how would I know that? How would I know that? Does anyone else know that?
Are you not part of his fan club?
No, I'm not.
So do hit those affiliate links if you could. Like I said, we do reinvest in the channel, and it ran it was about $210, something rather like that for the microphone, and then of course we needed some kind of a converter to get it to work with my phone and everything. But
nice,
pay off dividends. Yep. Oh, and before you read the feed as well, Random Neighborhood Kid wants us to redo or do another warehouse video.
Oh, well, yeah, be new and improved.
Have you added anything?
We've added a lot of many things. Yes.
There we go. So we'll have more stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Let's see. Angela's still in the house. Paul Tidwell's in the house. Michelle's here. Woohoo! It is Wednesday. This Oxus alias RNK's here. And Ron DeWitt. What's going on, Ron? How you doing, buddy?
Let me give it. I'll jump. Usually, I ask you about your buys.
Sporting the new Leone's Collectibles T-shirt. You
are. We got some exciting news coming out about that next week. We just got to figure a little bit out with the logistics. So some exciting news on that. I'm going to give a quick shout out. Usually I ask you how your sales were and everything. I'm going to do that in a moment. But I want to give a shout out to Ron. He's a good friend of the channel, watches it all the time, friend of ours. And he actually gave me a bit of a lead on a sale. And I met him over there and I helped him pick out some stuff, helping him negotiate some stuff. And I picked out some stuff for myself as well that I ended up buying. Got some decent stuff. Got some comics for my collection. And I'm going to ask you this question because I didn't know it. See if you know this. And this is something, Don, you need to listen because this has something or other to do with Canada.
Yeah. All right.
Have you ever seen a 1960s/early 70s Marvel comic book with the back cover blank and the inside covers blank?
I don't believe so. No.
At the sale, they had a Millie the Model annual number 4.
Right.
And it had the blank back cover. So I said to the gentleman, I said, this is kind of interesting. I've never seen this before. And he goes, yeah, I don't know anything about it. So charged me $1 for it. Yeah. Get home. Turns out that those are the Canadian variants. Wow. And they're worth pretty good money because they're very hard to find. So I ended up putting the Millie the Model in my collection. Not that I collect Millie the Model, but it's just kind of a neat little thing. So if you're ever out there and you see a 60s or early 70s Marvel comic with a blank back cover, pick it up. Immediately pick it up because it's the rare variant and it's probably worth, a multiple of the U.S. value. Nice. So there you go. Yeah. So thanks to Ron for telling me about that sale. Like I said, not going to get rich off it, but I did well enough at it, so I can't argue with that. Cool. Yeah. A few more people, it looks like they might have shown up. And...
Eric is in the house. What's going on? It is ladies' night, and he's feeling great. All right. Yeah, well, we've had a couple shots in, so I'm feeling right as well.
It's ladies' night, and he's feeling right.
All right, let's move on.
So any buys or for you? Let's start with the sales side of things.
I'm gonna say Amazon. I'm happy, very steady, good sales. eBay for me has been pretty inconsistent with a couple bad days back to back. So I don't know what it is. I'm experimenting with my sales because my employee left that was handling the sales. So I'm looking at things now from my perspective as far as I'm offering 20% off. Then if I send the offers, I'm adding more percentage off to that. So like how low do I want to go on the stuff? So
right. If you're sending an offer, on the sale.
Before the sales used to be 20, 25, 30% on top of the 10 or 20% offer. So now I'm trying to think of 20 to 30% between both, so I don't want to, give my stuff at half off, especially if it's good stuff. So, but I don't know if that's the reason or just eBay slow in general, but definitely not getting a lot of offers. Sales are down as far as items per day, but, we'll figure it out.
Now, when you give the offers, how do you do that? As far as what is your way of handling it? Do you just go top to bottom? Do you sort somehow?
I do lowest to highest. The ex-employee used to do anything under $200. He was doing it like 20%. But then if you factor some of the sales that were like 25, 30%, you're almost at 50% off. So I don't want to we have a lot of good stuff we put on, so I don't want to give that stuff away. We have certain categories that don't go on sale, like high-end stuff, which is good. But even so, I go low to high, and then say the highest stuff, I might do 10%. Anything like 200 or less, I'll do 15 to 20%. Depends.
Now, how many items do you have in your store?
150,000.
How many of those are on sale at a given point in time generally?
I'm going to say about 80 to 90%, because some of those categories that are over 5,000 listings, I think you can't put everything on sale out of those. I think you're going up to 5. There's some rule with that. I forgot.
10,000 total in any given sale.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, the reason I was asking that was because what I do, I very rarely use sales. We've got a video about that. Do check it out about our philosophies on sales. I very rarely use them, but when I do them, I keep them going for 1 week only. And that entire week, I send no offers out. Okay. Gotcha. And then what I would do is, let's say that I had a 20% off sale. Yeah. I would have 20% off on everything in my store. Then at the end of that week, I would send offers out to everybody that had accumulated over the week. Okay. And I might offer them 22% off. Gotcha. Something or other like that. Just as something special. They're getting a little special above and beyond. Yep. But
see, with me, with all my listings, I got to put them on sale all the time because we were getting killed a couple years ago. I'm like, too many listings and hardly any sales. So I had to do that because my prices are a little high because I take the offers. So I think that definitely helps having the sales, for me at least. Mm-hmm. All right, Thomas Gardner's in the house and Angela as well, still.
Nice. You're never going to get tired of saying that. Fair season and back to school expenses kill our sale. Yeah, definitely do. This week for me actually is a good week. Today's been a little bit slow. Oh, guess I sold a few things today I want to talk about real quickly. All right. Right before the show, I got an email and I showed it to you, and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. The camcorder tape, I don't know what you want to call it, but the blank camcorder tapes that were number 3 in the category. It only took a month to sell them. So if you're selling blank camcorder tapes, the number 3 seller will take a month. So if you see some out there that's number 7, probably don't buy it because that might take you a year.
You were lowest price, I'm assuming, or close to it.
Yeah. Definitely priced low on it as well. So it takes almost a month to sell the number 3 bestseller. I'm sure the number 1 bestseller is probably not flying off the shelves either.
Not in that category.
And another thing that I ended up selling that we talked about last week, we were talking about how I had gone, I think it was last week, how I'd gone to the thrift store and picked up the Corningware.
Yes.
Actually sold today. Nice. So people are really helping us out here for the show, and definitely do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Giving us something to talk about. Ended up selling 2 pieces of that. I paid $4 each for them, and so $8 for 2 sets plus tax. And sold for $75 two of them. So cannot argue with that whatsoever.
Not.
On that. Now, how are buys?
Well, buys have been big as of late. A couple big ones today. I spent about an hour and a half in the 90-degree heat, loading 125 boxes of DVDs into my truck.
Nice.
It was a local guy called up, a friend of a friend referred me, and he had about 10,000 DVD movies of the adult nature, all new and sealed. And this gentleman's father passed away, and they were going to throw him out. So he, called me, and I said, "Don't throw him out. I'll be there. I'll make you a fair price." And we struck a deal. And I think he's got more. He's got to dig out, and he's going to call me tomorrow. But overwhelming, my whole box truck was full from top to bottom.
Now I know those take you out of list because I believe you checked them all for completeness.
Yes, I watched them. Yes, I have to open them up and reseal them. Sure. Ron's thanking you for the help Sunday.
Oh, no problem at all. Yeah. No problem at all. We helped each other, so it worked out really, really well.
I want to thank you for not calling me Sunday. That's definitely a lot of help there. Angela's been selling Life magazines overseas. Very cool.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. I'm assuming you use the eBay. Was it eBay Standard? I think it is the Standard International. Yep. On that over there, anything 8.1 ounces to 2 pounds is fairly reasonable to ship overseas. Although you still get the people complaining, saying, "I'll pay for surface mail."
Man, it's crazy. Yeah, get with the times. Get out of that DeLorean. Jeez.
You did want to give a shout out. We actually, and you don't know this, but we actually had a subscriber reach out to us via the email, and our email is right here on YouTube, so you can find it and comment to us, and we do answer emails back. From Norway. He's looking to buy some comics, so I'm kind of talking with him. He's about that. Cool. But so we are basically the hottest thing in Norway since fermented herring.
Wow,
that's pretty
impressive.
Very, very impressive. Now, really nice guy, and definitely want to give him a shout out. He actually has been watching us since real early.
Cool.
So definitely do appreciate him reaching out, and do appreciate that. Another thing was, aren't you going to ask me how Madison Bachville went?
Well, I'm still not done talking about my buys.
Oh, go ahead.
So then I'll ask you about that.
Right,
we got to kill another 3 minutes here. Anywho, so I had a deal in Albany. I probably spoke about a few weeks ago. Gil, my driver, went out there, and the gentleman miscounted the VHS movies by 1,000.
Oh.
So he had COVID, so he goes, "Give me a month to recuperate and stuff. I'll get back to the storage shed." I said, "No problem, no rush. We'll work it out." So then he contacts me. He says, "I got a bunch more movies and magazines for my storage unit. It's worth thousands of dollars. Just give me $500. We'll be square." I'm like, "That's great, but then if I pay Gil to go from Ohio to Albany and back, that's going to cost me $500 to $1,000 with all the truck expenses and so forth." So then Gil, reminding me that his storage unit is not just filled with that. He's got thousands upon thousands of sealed DVD and VHS movies. Like popular titles. You see at the movie theater and Blockbuster or whatever, but all sealed stuff. Must have been some warehouse clean out. So we worked out a deal on that. He's got about 7,000, 8,000 movies between DVD and VHS, all sealed. And Gil's going there Friday. So, by Saturday, I'll have almost 20,000 DVDs and VHS I'll have to make room in my warehouse for.
Well, the right way to make room in your warehouse is to move everything.
We're going to move some of it. Sure, we might throw some stuff out into our dumpster. I don't know. Hopefully we'll have some room in the container that we can go a little higher with, so.
Hey, there we go. Somebody cares.
Joe cares about Madison Bachville there.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. We got some videos coming up about it. Random Neighborhood Kid is just finishing the editing on it. Did meet up with Primetime. Really nice guy in person. He spent a lot of time talking with me and all that kind of stuff, and I did some sourcing with him, so that was kind of fun.
Nice.
He shows up on our video, and I do a little video for him to put over on his channel when he ends up putting that up, so that should be a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Don't want to give away too much, but I am going to say that Thursday, we were warned last week that I probably would want to wear my galoshes if I went there.
Well,
Absolutely
I saw
true.
Your shoes, yeah.
absolutely true. Probably one of the worst days of sourcing I've ever done. And I don't necessarily mean because I didn't find a lot. Just this was, remember when we were starting out and we would go to Ann and Company auction. I remember one in particular where it was about 95 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And we had to park about a mile up the road. And we're here at the auction melding essentially. And we end up buying like, I don't know, 40 boxes of stuff. But we couldn't move any closer, so we had to walk down, carry them all the way down, walk back, carry them all the way. That might have been a worse day than
New York City. No way.
This was bad.
But
it was.
You were talking about 150 boxes in New York City going down. You didn't go through the pouring rain. 4 streets down every time.
This would rank right up there. Yeah. Thursday sourcing would rank right up there.
For local, definitely one of the worst ever.
Probably a third to half of the dealers were shut down. They just closed. They just weren't even open.
Yeah.
You're traipsing through the mud. And to make it even worse, I bought some comics from my own collection, and I bought some 1912 to 1915 playbills. That's essentially all that I bought the first day.
Wow.
And, and to give a little bit away, it's working now, but my phone broke as well. Because a little tip to everybody, and I did this for Primetime as well, on his channel, it'll show up. Do not walk around with your phone in your pocket like this, because what ends up happening in rain, the water gets all in there. Right. And I ended up losing the sound on my phone. It ended up drying out after about 2 days. So here I am, and I took a wrong turn on the way to the hotel. So I'm trying to use GPS, but there's no sound on the GPS.
Right.
And then my dad can't see. So I'm telling him, this is great. And I actually yelled at my father, and I should, and I apologized to him later. I'm driving on Route 12B when I wanted 12. So I'm on the wrong road. And I'm like, what way do I need to go? Where do I need to go? Because there's no sound on it. And he goes, well, in like a mile, you've got to do something.
Oh, geez.
I said, well, thank you. Well, thank you. That really helps me.
I don't want to say if my wife said it to me, I would do something, but if maybe my son said it to me, I would do something. Jeez.
What am I going to do? I go, that really doesn't
pull
help
over
me
and get
lot.
out. And one mile, pull over, get out of the car.
That
Bye.
does not help me any. I've got to do something. Thank you. What do you do? Go straight, turn right, turn left. What am I supposed to do?
Jeez.
So I did yell at him, and I did apologize later, but ended up making it to the hotel when everything was said and done. Nice. But the problem is you're driving, and you got people on your butt that know right where they're going.
Right.
You don't know where you're going. You don't know what turn you need to make. And meanwhile, your navigator's like,
I'm dead without GPS. I have no sense of direction. My wife hates me for that, but it's my one flaw. What can I say?
Without the sound, that made it a lot of fun. They're trying to use the GPS. But we rebounded on Friday, picked up some really good things. Got a video, like I said, we're working on right now. Woke up Friday morning, looking forward to a good day. Went to Denny's, had moons over my hammy, and no day that you start with that can ever be bad.
True, yeah.
And so from there, ended up being a really good day. And like I said, met up with Primetime and all that. So that was a lot of fun. Then went to the public market, which is the local flea market, on Sunday.
Okay.
Because, I can never get enough stuff.
Absolutely.
And ended up buying about 500 Star Wars cards.
Oh, that's right.
From the first through fourth series.
Nice.
Paid $40 for all of them, so paid 8 cents a card, which is.
I got a lot of cylinders if you need to build sets.
I do actually need to build some sets. Yeah, good. I'd be able to build a set then. You see what those are going for now?
Crazy money.
Absolutely insane. Sets 1 through 5 go for about $1,300 now. I remember I bought mine for $150 way back when. So they've definitely
think
gone
about
up.
it. Cards from the '70s is PSA 10s are going for thousands. Baseball. So why not Star Wars?
Well, we'll talk about a couple of other things there with buys and sales. But did you see what's going on with the sports card market?
I have not.
With Topps.
Oh, that I have seen. Yes. They are done in a couple years. Their contract's up.
And Fanatics is the name of the company be taking it over. Did you see what's going on in the basketball world?
You're going to tell me.
Panini is losing their contract in 2026, and Fanatics is taking it over.
Wow, that I did not hear that one.
Did you see what's going on in the football card world?
You're going to tell me.
Panini's losing their contract. Guess who's taking it over?
Fanatics.
Wow, so you're good at this game.
So what is Panini going to have left over? Wow, that's huge because they were major market. They were like everything.
I was reading somebody was out there talking that maybe Topps should move into either college, because now with all the rules with the college players able to get paid.
Yeah, not bad.
Or Little League or something or other, or not Little League, minor leagues. Who knows? Something or other like that. But yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So that's the big news in the sports card world.
Wow.
As to sales, my sales are halfway decent right now. Today's a slow day, but Wednesdays tend to be slow days. Sold nothing on $million peddlers. Viv's Views sold 2 postcards this week.
Nice.
And even bigger breaking news.
What's that?
I sold 2 items on Etsy today. That's a record-setting day on Etsy. It only took 4,000 items to figure out what sells. Yeah. Sold a playbill today, and basically some pages cut out of a magazine today.
And what's your monthly fees?
Well, it's essentially 5 cents an item. Is essentially what it is, but you pay 20 cents up front when you list it. Right. So, it kind of rolls over like that. So, but hey, I'm breaking even on Etsy and making a couple of bucks on Vivs-Views. So
nice.
Can't argue with that. And again, I knew from the start that Etsy was going to take a while to learn.
Cool.
And then still moving stuff over to the website via Sellbrite, and that's a long, slow process.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. So Don's reminding me to move those 78s. Yes. I got to reach out to that gentleman again and get them out of there.
You know what you should do? You should post on Instagram telling him to pick it up.
That's a good idea. I should do that.
How's that going?
Excellent. Yeah. It's there. It's still there. Still there. Angela's got great idea. Am I going to grade the VHS? Maybe, and it depends on what we got going on. If there's a lot of them, yeah, I probably would do it. If there's a bunch that are, say, $100 to $1,000, hopefully there is stuff like that. I know they're sealed. He sent me all the pictures of the sides. I don't know if the backs have the older ones without the barcodes or not, but yeah, it's definitely something to consider if it's worthy of. If a couple of them, I may not do it just to send out a couple, but if there's a bunch, I think I'll try it out and see what happens.
Why not though?
Yeah,
I mean,
nothing to lose really.
You're into them, right? So it's a good time to try them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. Oh, paninis are yummy. Yep, I agree to that. And Lori's got some good info for panini. Only Formula One in wrestling.
Wow,
that's crazy. That's a big loss, man. What do they do? Like a silent bid for the contract, or how do they work that out?
It's got to be right. It's got to be.
Yeah, jeez.
That's crazy. Those fanatics coming out there. Yeah, it's not like we grew up in the '80s, so there were a lot of different companies.
It's a huge site now. Yeah, they get tons of autographs on there. So
that's gonna hurt them.
All right, Don and I are in the same boat. Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Another thing that I did want to bring up, and this is something Primetime ended up getting a score, and I don't want to steal too much of his thunder for when he puts his videos up, but he did send me a picture of something or other that he bought. And he goes, "Oh, I bought this." And I messaged him back and I said, "Yeah, it was at the tent at such and such a place." He goes, "You saw them?" And I said, "Yeah, I saw them." And I'll tell you, there were some rock and roll magazines type deal.
Right.
And there was one really good one in there, which I wasn't aware of. But I didn't even ask how much they wanted on them. And this is my fault. This is a fault of mine. I went to the back of the guy's stand. I saw the rock magazines up front, but they had a lot of rock records and everything. So I'm thinking, okay, they're probably going to want a fair amount on them.
Right.
But let me go to the back, see what else they had. Yeah. Have you ever sold bowling magazines?
Not a lot, but I've had them. Generally older stuff, nothing like current.
Yeah. They had bowling magazines from the 50s and 60s, which are halfway decent.
Right.
And I said, "How much are the bowling magazines?" And the guy goes, $5 each. And he kind of wanders away.
Yeah.
And
that's a turnoff, right?
Okay. So then I said to my dad, I said, look, a couple of bucks a piece, I'd be interested in them.
Yeah.
But at $5 each, I don't even need to ask about the rock magazines, because if they want $5 each on bowling, what are they going to want on the rock?
10 plus, yeah.
Yep. Primetime ended up getting them for a little more than I would have wanted to have paid on the rock magazines, but they weren't $10 plus. They were more than the bowling magazines still, which is more than I would have wanted to pay on them anyway. Right. But I guess the lesson to be learned, and I kind of know this, but that doesn't mean that I always follow it, is ask.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing bad would have happened out of me asking the gentleman what he wanted on him.
True.
And then asking, well, geez, what if I take the rock magazines and I take the bowling magazines?
Right.
But again, when you're sitting there and you're kind of looking at him and he just gives you a price and he wanders away, instead of saying, $5 each, but if you take a few, because he had 10, 15 of them.
Yeah.
If he'd come back and said $3 each, you take them all, I probably would have looked through and tried to offer him $2.50 a piece on them, because I can make money on that, and I don't mind selling them. So definitely do ask. I didn't do it. That's on me. Yeah. And like I told Prime Time, I said, see, my not asking got you a good deal, because those could have been gone the day before, because I knew right where they were at. But oh well, what are you gonna do? You can't have everything.
Exactly. All right. Looks like someone's getting married. Congratulations.
Oh, a 2-alarm fire. That's that's not good. Good luck on that over there.
Well, maybe you get a discount.
Yeah, that's just what everybody wants on that. So that's another thing. And we talk all the time, and I know different people have different views on it, about people asking you questions and answering questions and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I had a situation where I had a coloring book, and I listed it as being uncolored. It was kind of a coloring activity book. I may not even mentioned in there about whether I probably said something or other, like in nice shape or something or other like that, and kind of mentioned about it. Well, a gentleman made me an offer on it and bought it. Mm-hmm. After he bought it, he says, "Is it uncolored and complete?" And I was traveling at the time, so I answered him the next day, and I said, "Yeah, it's nice."
Yeah.
And he goes, "What do you mean it's nice?" He goes, "I asked if it was uncolored. It only takes you a few seconds to find that out."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wrote him a long email that I then deleted, and I replied to him, "It's uncolored." The long email that I wrote, because he really pushed my buttons, is, I knew it was uncolored, so I didn't bother to look, but I thought about it.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'm sitting upstairs at my computer.
Well, you got your day
I
job.
read your question. We'll leave all that out. I'm sitting at the computer. I read his question.
Yeah.
Is this uncolored? I click on the item. I get my location code. That's going to take 15 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it is.
Right.
We're already beyond a few seconds.
Right.
Just to find out where it is. Now I walk downstairs.
Yeah.
I find the box. I find it in the box. I open it up. Now, maybe it's in a bag already. If it's in a bag, I take it out of the bag. Right. I page through the entire thing to verify it's not colored. I put it back in the bag. I put it back in the box. I put the box back on the shelf. I turn around and I walk back upstairs. I bring his email up. Yep. I respond to him. He can do all this in a few seconds. I figured it takes 3 to 5 minutes, depending upon how long it takes for me to find in the box, et cetera, et cetera. Absolutely. Also, how many pages there are, because it just happened to be a short one. It was about a 20-page thing.
Well, but it sounds like he's the guy where if you missed half a page and had coloring in it, he's going to blow a gasket.
And I even mentioned that to him. I said, I have full free refunds. If I did miss something, you can return it for free. It's not, it's no big deal. It only takes you a few seconds. It does not take a few seconds unless it literally is sitting by me. And what if it were one of those 100?
What if he's emailing me a few seconds? Way more than a few seconds, because I got to pay the employee. He could have to go up a 16-foot ladder, down a 16-foot ladder, check it, put it back in the box, So, yeah, definitely minutes and minutes and minutes.
Yeah, multiple minutes on it. And that was, it would take more than a few seconds with a 20-page. Imagine, like I said, it was a 144-page coloring book, which they do have some.
Yeah, the giant ones, Yeah,
and I go through each and every page, come back, go, it's not colored. Or it is colored on this one page, and he says, cancel my
I guess at least he already bought it, so you were halfway to the sale. You just had to answer and ship it out, where the people that haven't bought it yet, that's where the issue is, because then they still may not buy it if you put that effort into it. Or what I would do is I have to go through a 120-page coloring book, which I would only do it if it was like 25, 30, 40 bucks. I'm jacking the price up $5 just for my trouble, honestly.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to.
Yeah.
But that's what that did make me laugh when he was said it only takes a few seconds.
Yeah, right.
Like, not if you have as many items as we have. Not if you don't literally have the items right next to you. Right. If I just listed it and you asked me the question and I said, "Oh, it's right here," different story. Sure. But that isn't the way things really happen. Even just to bring his email up and read it and answer it takes more than a few seconds.
Yeah, crazy.
So I just wanted to bring that up as well.
Captain Whacking Crackers in the house. How's it going?
Still love that name.
The best. Yeah, some people are rude. Yeah, they don't understand what it takes to,
Yeah, and again, it isn't even that he asked. I've got no problem with him asking. It's him telling me how easy it is to check. Yeah. That was the part that got me. Like, no, it's not that easy to check. No. And you know how random neighborhood kids still only can list 5 items, and we've been meaning to call eBay, but
how long
we've
has
been
this
busy.
been going on? This is crazy.
Well, good news. One of the items he has listed, he got an offer on.
I guess I would take it no matter what.
He wants $20 on the item.
Yep.
Somebody with 0 positives offered him $100.
You know what? Jeez.
I suggested he decline that offer.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't see that payment coming through.
No.
Although I did tell him the story, and I may have mentioned this in a video in the past, and I know I told you about this many, many years ago. Do you remember when you've had people before ask you to scan things for them?
Yeah.
Scan and send this to me, scan and send this to me. I actually had a gentleman, we're going back 10, 12 years. I want this article scanned to me. I will pay you $100.
I think I did that one time too.
And he was a gentleman from Russia. So I scanned the 3 pages he needed. I said, you know something, whether he sends me the money or not, I know where the magazine is. Scanning 3 pages isn't going to kill me. So I scanned it and sent it to him. Sure enough, like an hour later, there was $100 in my PayPal.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, I would do it if, say I got a $20 magazine. If they want to offer me 20 or close to it, like I would take an offer on the actual magazine, I'd go for it because then, you know, it's like selling the magazine. I can relist it. I don't have to get a partial offer, a partial payment. You know, it's not worth it for $5 or something. It's just not. But you know, that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. It is. Again, it's.
And the whole overnighting thing too, that gets me going. People want stuff overnighted, but it's a whole nother argument.
And you're actually set up better to handle overnight than I am with the day job.
Well, yeah, I certainly can do it. I got FedEx pickup, UPS. They can all pick it up. The problem is I can't guarantee the overnight. Even if we pack it and the post say it's going to the post office and we get a 4:30, 5 o'clock pickup, well, really, it's not going out to the following day. So they're really going to get it in 2 days, and they're going to get upset. So they don't understand that, you know, you contact me at 3 p.m. on a Thursday. Now we're lucky to get it pulled and packed by 5 o'clock. We probably missed the pickup. You know, if it's something valuable, then I'll go to the post office and drop it off and get it scanned. But other than that, I tell them, I go, we really can't guarantee that. If you're fine with that, getting it a day late, we'll do it.
No, you're right. That is always, you know, I mean, I did start a FedEx account and, you know, so I could drop stuff off years ago. I used to do that for people now and then, but nowadays I just don't have time, don't have the ability to do it. It's difficult.
Yeah, true.
It's difficult to do.
So, Don's got some good info. Careful scanning stuff, it's under copyright. So how would you know it is and isn't if it's in a magazine, I guess?
It probably still is, but yeah, it probably is.
No one's monitoring that, so.
I just won't go to Russia. There's probably a bounty on me over in Russia by the Russian counterfeit police.
Exactly.
Or copyright police. Sorry for new people to get started. eBay needs to deal with those scammers better. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, obviously that was a scam. Obviously, if he accepts it, they're then going to reach out to him and say, oh, I want to pay for it. Text me at or call me at is exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Then he uses one of his slots on that.
Right.
You know, so, you know, thank goodness that didn't end up happening. But yeah, we do have to call eBay at some point or other when I'm thinking about it and have the time.
Yeah.
So that should be a fun conversation as far as that goes. I did get a call today from a mutual friend of ours. I don't know if you remember, probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, I talked about how I would call him a mentor. He was a mentor of mine in some manner. Warren had passed away.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Got a call from a mutual friend of ours who's helping the son deal with the estate.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be going over there Friday to see if I want to buy anything out of there and all that kind of stuff. So just what I need because I've got, you know, picked up 500 items over the weekend.
You're into artwork. Didn't he deal in art? So maybe get some.
He did deal in artwork, but the problem is he dealt in way higher stuff than what I know, and I tend to know the comic book stuff. He didn't deal in the comic book stuff.
Okay.
He dealt in like African art and stuff like that, which I don't know at all. So probably. I mean, he always had a lot of obscure books and booklets and that kind of stuff. So that's probably what I'm going to end up going after.
Gotcha.
You know, help them out as well because they want the stuff gone as well.
Yeah.
So
you leave a lot of stuff.
Stuff everywhere.
Wow.
Just like any of us.
Yeah.
Stuff anywhere. And unfortunately, he'd had health problems near the end of his life, so he basically stopped listing, stopped selling.
Right.
So he stopped buying a couple of years earlier, but he wasn't listing hardly anything either.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it would be like if I stopped listing today, in 5 years from now
Right.
wasn't buying.
Right.
We've still got a lot of stuff all over the place.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in the house. How's it going? Pull your pants on and slide on the ice. All right. All right. I'll watch Paperboy do that.
You got to pay extra on that on my OnlyFans. Is it called OnlyFans? Is that where I'm at now?
Yeah.
Yep. So wanted to talk real quick about. Well, we had a little subtopic today, which is staying on top of trends and how important that is to do. And I think you see that more than I do. Mm-hmm. I know you had a buy you were going to go to at some point over in Webster.
Yes, the one this morning we discussed. Yep.
Oh,
that's the one this morning.
With cards and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, so good thing you did go.
No, I did not end up not going.
Oh,
because I had that other deal, and I didn't want to cram 2 deals in. And I would have rather crammed in the guaranteed deal, and that deal was a little more work involved. Yeah, a little more work involved. So I told him, like, you let me get through the weekend. I'll research the stuff a little better, and then we'll meet up next week.
Okay.
So.
Well, because I know you've got the potential to purchase some wax.
Correct. Yeah.
And a lot of those things with wax, sports cards, wax, and sports cards in general, comic books, you definitely have to stay on top of the trends, because how many times does a comic suddenly become hot?
Oh.
Or a sports card become hot? Or
sports are worse because it's more like the stock market, up and down, where comics generally, they don't go down. They get to a point where there's some interest in a movie or whatever, and then they stay usually at that level. But cards could be, from $10 to $1,000 back down to $2. So.
Oh yeah, and well, the other thing too is, I mean, Spider-Man can have a bad movie.
True.
But he's still Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah.
That hot new pitcher could break his arm.
Exactly. Yeah.
And never be the same pitcher again.
Yep. True.
And then those rookie cards aren't worth.
Yeah. Well, look at Fantastic Four. They had a couple of flops. Not that their number 1 issue ever went down, but it's still higher than ever now. 10 years later or whatever. So definitely comics are more of a solid investment, I would say.
But you definitely have to stay on top of the trends. I mean, how many times, and I don't want you to think about this, but I'm going to ask you to think about it. How many times have you sold good things out of your dollar boxes?
Yeah.
Because you didn't know that they were good things out of the dollar boxes.
It happens all the time, because even with the newer cards over the last year, we'll buy collections, and then I'll pull out the better guys, and the ones that are $2, $3, $4, $5, I got a dollar box. One gentleman goes, some of these are 50 cents. I go, well, that's true, but some might be $3, $4, $5. He goes, oh, they look like commons. Then he comes to the register, he's got LeBrons and Tom Brady's. I mean, cherry picking, which is fine, but that's what they're there for, so.
Right. You end up making the sale. Yeah, but that's where the trends have to be followed, because on the one hand, you can end up not making the money that you should make on something or other, simply because you don't know that all of a sudden now it's hot.
Well, for example, the Michael Jordan rookie, a PSA 8 at one time was going for $30,000. And I actually know someone that owns a PSA 8 Michael Jordan rookie who did not sell it. And now it's down to $10,000, which was the price it was before COVID.
Fool.
So yes, you have to strike when the iron's hot for trending items. Correct.
But and I guess that ties into the other side too, is, and it doesn't happen so much with a lot of the stuff that we sell, because we're selling a lot of, the value of a March 1983 Road and Track magazine is the value of a March 1983 Road and Track magazine. Right. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like news topics though are trending. So for anything Biden will sell now. Trump was selling more when he was in office, and Obama was. So I mean, things like that are definitely going to sell, when they're in office. So.
Right. Yeah, and you follow the news. I mean, let me ask you this quick question: how many Rolling Stones items have you sold in the last day and a half? A fair number?
3, 4, 5 maybe. So, that's probably average,
Okay.
A couple on eBay, a couple on Amazon maybe.
Because Charlie Watts, their drummer, passed.
True, yeah.
So a lot of times something like that will hit the news.
I thought you meant the magazine title Rolling Stone.
No, Rolling Stones.
Oh, yeah, we've sold some records and stuff, so yeah, definitely.
Yep, so as soon as that, hits the news, that goes up there.
Sure.
But the other side of it too is you have to watch trends going the other way, because, and we know some antique dealers, they've passed, but, because Hopalong Cassidy was good back in the day, and they paid whatever for it, they got it priced at $50, and there isn't a person ever going into their store that would pay $50 on a Hopalong Cassidy.
True, yeah.
So you've got to pay attention on the other side of things as well. kind of know when to get rid of the stuff that isn't going to have the value anymore.
Yeah.
I'll give a perfect example. You bought all those VHS.
Yeah.
They're trending upward right now. They're hotter right now.
Yeah, well, they're in the infancy of grading, so I think that's where you got to get in the ground level at that point.
Would you have bought those 10 years ago?
Well, I got them really cheap, so for that price, I probably would have if it was 10, because I didn't pay nothing for them, but I got them from a friend of mine that had DVDs and he didn't care about his VHS, so he didn't give me, but we did a trade deal, so I didn't invest a lot of money in it. Plus, I knew we could put them on Amazon quickly if they had the UPCs, so that was partly the reason I took them.
So you would have, but you would have probably even tried to pay less, or you would have said,
I probably would have stored them until now when I found out, well, like when you sent me Auction Professor's the video on the grading, which I had no idea on.
Yeah. So in the same thing, you got to get out of stuff. So you got to figure out, like take VHS for example. Well, now it's trending hot. It's getting hotter, more valuable, all that kind of stuff. But there was a period, and I don't know when it was, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, at some point where you either wanted to dump.
We had a video shop, so we threw out thousands of them. Yeah, they were used and open, most of them, but still, we threw them out, and there's some value, I'm sure. Yep. They were older, early ones, too, from the 80s. So.
Yeah, you either want to dump,
or
you want to absolutely know that you're going to store them for 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to do that, that's when you go around and you start buying them all up, because you know that eventually they'll end up coming back up again.
Well, nowadays, if you're looking at anything sealed, if it's collectible, there's a grading company for it. So I think, video games, 5 years ago, who was grading video games? I don't know anyone,
Right.
So, the coins were started at sports cards. Now, VHS, who would think that, So.
Somebody was telling me you can get postcards graded, et cetera, just pretty much anything can end up getting graded. Yeah. So it definitely does. It is a game changer on that stuff.
CGC's branching out now. They're going to start, they're doing gaming cards right now. The rumor is they're going to do comic cards and then maybe even sports cards down the road. So, yeah.
Crazy. Yep.
All right. Let's see. Michelle, Santa candy holders put in an auction, $112.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, he was right on that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool. Do you have any Cuomo items? I don't know if I do. There's some newspapers with him in the title.
Probably have that. Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe you could buy his Emmy because he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Sydney's in the house. The video must be working because I sold an Alfred State bag for $8. Well, you're competing with Paperboy now with those bags.
Alfred, and I know right where Alfred State is. I actually went to the U right across the street, so I know Alfred well. I didn't know postcards being rated a while. I'm listing them right now.
Well, trade cards too. I was actually thinking about doing the trade cards. Just time and money. How far can I go? I talked to the guy that's been submitting my comics and magazines. I got over 500 of them out there right now. So it's like $25,000 just in grading. That's crazy. But
that's a lot of money out there.
I'm thinking, hopefully I should have six figures back when they come. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, long term, it's the right thing
absolutely.
to do. And I've got a decent collection. I don't know if you've heard what I got in my collection. I've got a Canadian version, Willie the Model, annual number 4. You don't find that every day.
You should get that graded.
I actually was thinking that I probably will get that graded at some point, even though it's not going to come back more in a VG or something like that.
It's one of those that's the only one graded, so you can put 10 times value on it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, plus it also encapsulates it what it is as well. This is the Canadian version of this, no questions whatsoever, and people do like that stuff graded.
Sure.
So at some point I do have to start digging through and find the stuff of mine that I want to end up getting graded.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to move into our main topic today, which, do you know what it is?
I never know what it is. And after you tell me, I still may not know what it is.
Well, and Michelle actually gives us a good segue into it by her selling the Santa items. Okay. And it's your fourth quarter call to arms. It's your fourth quarter starts now.
Yeah.
A lot of people, the next week and a half, we've got the holiday coming up. It's a little later this year. You got people going back to school.
Sure.
I know some people in Ohio, for instance, have already gone back to school. College kids are already back, but then random neighborhood kid doesn't go back for another week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that up this way.
Sure.
It's that time of year right now where people are doing their last vacations, they're doing whatever. And if you're doing that and you've got to get a kid back to school, or you're doing that and you've got, a last vacation you want to get in, or you just want to spend the last couple of days outdoors, take a vacation before everything gets hectic again, go ahead and do it. But if you're not doing that, start your fourth quarter early.
Yeah.
Do what you can. Michelle sold the Santa item, which works perfectly into what I was talking about. Literally the first sentence. I don't know how everybody gets copies of these except you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No clue.
It's time to get the Christmas stuff out and sorted. And absolutely true. I mean, Christmas does sell all year round, but I'm a big fan of getting a lot of Christmas stuff on all at the same time, as opposed to listing one Christmas item today, one in 3 weeks, one a month from now. Just boom, 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 a lot of Christmas stuff all the way down. So mine's all sorted out. I'm going to kind of get it on right after the holiday. You'll be very happy that you did it because you'll be the first person up with it. And we're not a political show whatsoever, but I did read on a news story somewhere that your vice president had said that maybe you need to do your Christmas shopping early this year, which people are taking to mean that maybe things are going to shut back down a little bit again. Could be supply chain problems.
Or you can spread it out where if millions of people are going within a 2-week span, and now a million of people are going through a 6-week span, less likely to catch anything.
Yeah, that could be what she meant too. Yeah, nobody really knew. It was kind of a cryptic statement, but people were wondering if it didn't mean lockdowns were coming or shutdowns were coming again. Yeah. Who knew? Who knows? The supply chain is all messed up. I didn't realize this, but I do a lot of work in my day job with contractors. Paint is almost impossible to find right now from a lot of different companies.
It's crazy.
Because a lot of the stuff going on with paint is all out of...
Sorry.
No. It's all out of Texas, and they had the problems with the power grid and all that stuff, totally knocked everything off, and they're way behind in paint manufacturing. So the guy was telling me that more or less what a Sherwin-Williams dealer told him was, convince your customers that they want this color, because this is the color that we have in right now.
Yeah.
And that's just one example. There was another thing, we all know about the backup in cars right now because of the chips and all that with cars.
Right.
There was something else, and I cannot remember. Just read today, there's a huge global problem with getting glass bottles. So if you want products made in glass bottles, good luck to you. Those are all back. So what's, and we all know, and
the coin shortage, which I'm solving now. I don't know if I told you. We're getting some new machines in a laundromat, and 7 of them will have the credit card slide adapters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Somebody told you to do that a few years ago. I don't remember who that was.
Well, somebody didn't have $700 a piece back then for every unit. So,
and you've got you're well aware of the cost of lumber and what had happened with lumber and how that's gone all up because you were talking about how the cost of the plywood and all that for your shelving had gone up. And I don't know if you remember or not, but last year, how far behind was the post office in sending out the free supplies?
Oh, well, the padded flat rate? Those were months I want to say months behind, 4 to 6 weeks at least. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yep. And how many times have you had where I ordered cardboard for you, boxes and all that kind of thing, and all of a sudden they get canceled on you?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, it's a good idea. We got to start jumping up the orders now, I think, now that you mention it.
Yeah, see, you listen to the show and you know. Yep. And so you don't want to be sitting there having a lot of sales come in, scrambling to find the envelopes that you need or the boxes that you need or whatever come November 15th and everybody else looking for it as well, and there's some kind of a screw up in the supply chain.
Right.
Order now. I went and I ordered a whole bunch of envelopes that I know I'm going to use. I looked and I said, I've got about a 2.5 to 3 month supply of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to just order them now so I don't even have to worry about it. I'm set for the Christmas season as far as my supplies go.
Yeah.
Just because. So I'm actually practicing when I'm preaching over here.
Right.
And so on. So be the first person to get into the fourth quarter mode. You'll be very, very happy that you did. I think it's going to be a tremendous fourth quarter. I really, truly
think so
do.
Too. I'm ready for it. Hopefully for eBay. I need eBay sales to jump up a little bit. I'm sure he's already listing Halloween stuff, which is a great idea. And he thinks he's even late on that. So,
I think you probably are a little bit late on that. What are we, August? Because I sold, we got a bolo coming out, and I don't have very much Halloween up at all, but I did sell something Halloween about 2 weeks ago.
I should check the trade cards, because I probably have some of them.
You definitely want to get those up now. Get them up this week.
Remind me Monday, AJ13 sales. Let's see, Beckett Monthly Mags. I would probably list anything Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Griffey individually, Gretzky. Those all seem to sell $10, $20 or more.
Really?
If they're mint, yeah.
Wow.
So because people are grading them now too. I think I sent in some early. The first Bo and the first Jordan are good ones. So, and I turned down lots of those over the years, and people brought them in. I'm like, they just don't sell, but with grading, everything sells.
How about those? Remember those Legends magazines? Are those any good now?
It's funny because people have been asking. I got a bunch. You buy them in groups, like one of every kind. People had runs, but I guess it was also gold, silver, platinum, and all. So I got, for some reason lately, guys are, I think because of the cards inside are gold, silver, platinum, and I don't know if they're grading them. I got guys asking me for those rare versions, which I don't think I have the rarest ones, but we got some of the gold and so forth. But yeah, those are making another comeback. It's just crazy. Yeah.
Is that, and it kind of ties
and again,
back,
they're 30 years old. So I mean,
kind of ties back into what I said a little earlier about following the trends.
Yeah.
Because let's say you didn't follow the trends and you're going, these things are junk. These Beckett's are junk. This is junk. And somebody comes in and you go, just give me $1 piece. We're getting them all out of here.
Yeah.
It turns out that they're getting 20, 25 or getting
I
graded.
did buy some recently just because they were Jordans and stuff, and I was sending some stuff out to get graded. So I figured they were nice enough to get sent out, But,
moved a lot of ornaments. Yeah, you've got a lot of ornaments too, don't you?
I do. We had a lot put on, but there's still a lot that need to get put on. Some without boxes, but yeah, we got to work on that soon, very soon.
Well, and another thing, I just was reading my notes over here. Do you remember the fourth quarter is coming as well? And the reason I bring that up is, you remember, a month ago or so, I was mentioning how I had gone to the local flea market and I had picked up a bunch of board games, sealed and unsealed board games. And I forget, one of the games is Avalon Hill Games Stalingrad. And I think I got a price at $150, something rather like that. It's sealed.
Yeah, right.
And somebody offered me $40 on it. And I turned it down.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then they offered me $50, and I turned it down.
I mean, when it was new, it was probably $25. I'm guessing in the 70s.
Oh, I guarantee. Yeah, those were like $25 to $30 because I remember my cousin and I went and bought one of them, and it was like $30 back in 1981 or something like. Maybe not necessarily that one, but that's just what they went for.
Yeah.
And then I think the guy offered me like $70, and I just messaged him back and I said, "Sir, we're far away. I don't need to sell it now. It's going to sell for price or darn close to it in fourth quarter." Because I absolutely know that come fourth quarter, somebody's going to, oh my gosh, my dad had that game. We played it. This is a sealed version of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to get $125, $140, $150 out of it.
Right.
I don't need $50 today. I can hold off on that.
Well, and I love when they say these are comps and, another guy's got one for that price. And I'm like, well,
buy his.
I would say buy his then.
I may have shared this with the channel, but it did make me laugh. And I was kind of from time to time, you may never have noticed this, but from time to time, I could be kind of a jerk.
Really? Wow.
I knew you never noticed that.
It's shocking.
It is.
I've known you for 30-something years.
Well, never
seen that once.
So a gentleman came in, and I had up some ribbon from something or other turn of the century. And I had put it up for like $35. And I had based my price on comps. I had looked around to see what other people had theirs at. A gentleman emails me and says, "I'm going to offer you $15 on it. These are very common. These were given out to every delegate at this, and there were 700 delegates out there, and so there's a lot of them out there." And I declined his offer, and I said, "Well, that's good to know. You'll be able to find one, no problem."
Yeah. They're common. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And again, I was pricing mine based on what other people were pricing theirs
I think this one bothers me over anything. Our feedback. We've been doing it so long. They know we're not like 8 feedback. We're not, random neighborhood kid. No offense.
No offense.
We have 40,000, 100. I mean, like this isn't our first rodeo. Why would we just jump on that? And say, oh, you're right. Okay, we'll give it to you. So I find that insulting, but that's just me. So, AJ, not every video is a haul video, and what the stuff sold for like most channels. We'd like to be different, so thank you for that.
Yeah, definitely do. And again, not that we don't do some bolos. We do those every Saturday, and I do some haul videos from time to time because they are fun to do. They definitely are. But we do try to put those in as bonus videos. I was on fire this morning. Yeah. I think I sent you 3 or 4 topics to talk about for next time we sit
down. Yeah, right
when
my printer went. Oh, guess what? So I had my printer issue.
Oh, why don't you tell everybody what it was?
I have the Kyocera. I love that thing. I mean, it costs $800 or $900, but I've only changed the ink twice this year.
Wow.
And we're getting the ink on eBay for $20. Anyway, so I've replaced the cartridge one time. This was the second time. I didn't realize I had to replace it today, but it said the what did I call it? The ink waste. It's a plastic container that has all the powdered leftover ink or toner. So I didn't know how to do it. It was the first time. I dumped it out, put the empty canister back in there, and it still had an issue. I don't understand. You told me to research it. I went online, and then I took out the ink cartridge. I go, well, it's pretty close to empty, So then I'm weighing a new one compared. I go, it's big difference. So I opened it up, and it comes with an empty waste container.
Oh, okay.
So I just swapped out that waste container. I swapped out the toner, back up and running, and then I was able to print your
ideas.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. My thought was, and a lot of times those things will have a code that you need to press in. Press.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that I didn't see anything
press
like that.
Press the up button 3 times, this button twice.
And I was frustrated for about 10, 15 minutes, but now I know hopefully everything I have to do with that down the road. So yes, Don wants everyone to hit the like button.
Thank you. I always forget all about that.
Lewis is late, but luckily we'll have a replay shortly this week.
that is true. That is true. You can always watch it.
Too far away. That's a good line. Yeah, I do like that. Yeah. He used that line on Tinder too.
Oh.
And don't say on fire because of the resort.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, those things are $1 a foot now. So very cool.
Well, that kind of ties in what you were talking about there. I've got this one rambling story of the week that I was going to use, and I put it off because you actually reminded me of a different one.
Oh, I think I do that every week. Lately.
Eventually, the story will end up getting told, and it'll be well worth the wait. You were talking about your printer and the overflow. Was it the overflow tank or something like that? Yeah. So we all know. Oh, let me be in the middle of my rambling story. I'm going to ask you. You ended up watching or listening to the video with me and Random Neighborhood Kid in the basement. What were your thoughts on that? The one, and check it out if you haven't already checked it out. Where we extreme makeover of the basement. I
think it went like I thought it would go. Meaning, RNK would be doing 90% of the work, and PG would be doing, 5 to 10% of the work.
I was supervising, which I'll have you know is a very difficult thing.
The whole time. What was the total time?
It took about an hour and a half to do everything.
See, I don't know if I would supervise. I would come down in the beginning, come back down in the middle, and then at the end. I could not stay there for 2 hours and watch.
Well, as a state worker, I've got to go and get my coffee, and I got to get my mandated breaks and everything. I mean, come on, we're not barbaric.
The mallet was pretty cool. I wanted to see you use a mallet. That would have been nice. With your depth perception, you'd be putting holes in the wall.
Or I would have done this, hit it here, and it would have bounced back and hit me in the head, which would have been worth the price of admission.
True. I'm impressed with your box, the room with all the empty boxes in it. We used to have that, like in one of our shelving units, and my manager's kind of like OCD and wants things neat, so we end up throwing out some of that stuff, which I agree and disagree because it does cost me money, but I look at it this way too, just like my loft. I got hundreds and hundreds of tubs and boxes. I'm paying money for every square footage, even though I own the building. I'm still paying something every month for the mortgage. Do I want to put empty boxes there or full boxes when I'm out of room with full boxes? So sometimes we'll do a little spring cleaning. If 6 months go by and we got these gigantic boxes taking up room, I'll save one big one and put all the little ones in there and throw the rest out. Because I can't have a room like that and I'm paying whatever for square footage. You know what I mean? So, but do the best we can.
Well, so you've seen my abilities as far as construction and all that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I had a situation back.
You used to change your own oil, though, didn't you? Back in the day?
I did change my own oil back in the day.
I'm impressed with that because I would never do that.
Yeah, I used to change the oil. I used to change my fuel filter. I used to change my spark plugs. Yeah. I used to do all. When you don't have any money, you got to do what you got to do. Skinned my knuckles quite a few times doing all that kind of stuff, of course. But so I had a printer, and I ended up buying a second printer. It was, I liked the printer, but the one printer was having a problem. So I ended up buying another printer, and it turned out to be the same kind of deal. That what it had on it was, it essentially was a little sponge that would catch the drippings of the ink.
Yeah.
And there was a override that you could do. Again, that's how I kind of said, maybe you need to do an override. Yeah. Push this. Well, at some point the override stopped working because it just was literally just drenched. So then I read how to do it, and you've got to go and you had to open the printer top, have the cartridges slide over. Right. Then you got to go down in there with, start removing stuff. And then you took a pair of tweezers and you pulled out the little rubber or the little, almost like a sponge piece.
Yeah.
You pull that out, you clean that, then
Right.
you put that back in, and then you redo it.
You had me at sponge.
Sponge worthy.
Yeah.
So I went and I go and I do all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's taken me forever, and I'm just kind of getting the stuff back in there, and I've got no depth perception, as we know, and it's difficult for me to do all this. And the other fun thing is you've got these tweezers, but you're working down way down under there where you can barely see doing it. So I finally go, and you know me. You've probably seen me get upset 3-4 times in all the years we've known each other. I really do not have much of a temper.
No, right.
Do not have a temper. I'm
if you
pretty
push over
mild-mannered.
the edge, that's about it.
Very mild-mannered on things.
Only me and the airlines, I think, push over the edge a few times, but that was it.
So I go and I finally get that. I'm breaking out of sweat. I've got 45 minutes into it. Finally get everything in there. Get it all set. Go to close the top. And I had forgotten to move the thing back, slide the thing back. So it's, I took that thing, brought it to the garbage and smashed it into the garbage about 15 times.
I was going to say that's what I would have done 20 years ago when I had a different attitude on life. Yeah, I certainly would have snapped it over my knee. I would have told my buddies to film this, thrown against the wall. Yeah, lassoed it.
I wish we had a channel back then because it was funny watching me try to fix it and then smashing that thing down. Luckily, I had the backup printer at that point, so I was willing to smash it all out.
Remember this from Don. I'm going to do a rambling story next week regarding wiper blades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Change your own wiper blades. Yeah. See, and you got me there because I can't do those nowadays. I don't know if you've seen how those things are nowadays.
Well, okay, I guess we're doing it right now, my rambling story. But anyway, so my ex-manager, she was a female, but very handy, and she knew how to change the wiper blades. For whatever reason, years ago, I was able to work on cars, take parts, take them off cars, and when I was younger in the 20s. Now I don't know how to do anything. But anyways, I let her do my wiper blades. She offered one time, so I never really, in the new vehicles, maybe they're different. I don't know.
Oh, every vehicle is different.
So my last truck, I had it for a couple of years. I needed new wiper blades. They're big ones. It's a big truck. So I went into the auto parts store, and I felt little, I don't want to say girlish, but I did ask the gentleman to put the wiper blades on.
I do that all the time. So, they're paid to do it.
Yeah, so he did it. And, I don't know if it happens very often, but I just, felt like I should know how to do that, but I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't want to learn. So that's it for me.
Well, I got to, now that we're on wiper blades here real quick. Okay. So this is great. I went in there, my wife's car, she goes and starts the car, and she comes in, she's set to go to work. She comes in and she goes, the wiper blades, it's broken. I go, what do you mean it's broken? I go, just take my car. What do you mean it's broken? I looked, and it literally had flown off.
Oh, yeah.
It had broken and flown off. So I waited for my break at work because I was working at home at the time, and I drove it up there to the store. And I said to the guy, here, I need wipers for this over here.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, just to let you know, and I'm making all this up because I don't remember exactly what he said, but he goes, the only thing we have right now for it are these Bosch, whatever. They're $25 each or whatever it is. I said, okay, well, fine. If that's what you got. Yeah. So he goes, I go and I buy it. He goes out to the car. And this guy does this for a living.
Right.
He cannot get the wiper blades on. Cannot get them on. Cannot get it on.
Jeez.
Now get this. They must have gotten a delivery while we were outside in the parking lot.
Really?
Because we walked back in and he goes, oh, these will work. And he charged me $25 in the first place.
Right.
Rang that up as a return, and then charged me $15 for a different brand. But when I got there, they only had the Bosch was the only one that would work.
Wow. Well,
so good thing that they got a delivery while we were in the parking lot, and they put it out on the shelves immediately.
Jeez.
I think he was lying to me.
Yeah. Right.
But he did end up getting a change and all that. But it made me feel good because I'm thinking to myself, if this guy who does this every single day can't get this to work,
right?
I'm not going to be able to get it to work.
Exactly.
Crazy.
All right, Nicholas, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Yep. Now you know more about.
Well, at least one of us does.
You know more about wiper blades than any. We probably are the most wiper blade centric reselling channel out there. I think we can definitely say that
today for sure.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Did have a fun time today. Who knows what we're going to talk about next week? Certainly not you, even on the day of the show.
We'll talk about the DVDs I'm picking up Friday.
There you go.
And VHS.
And we'll talk about the when I go to Warren's and pick stuff up over there. And we got another flea market this weekend, I'm sure. And so there's always something going on. So thank you very much. Do hit the like button if you haven't already. Do subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.